Hello, eighth grade. I wanted to take this opportunity to give you some background information on pages 84 and 85 in your science textbook on the elements of the periodic table. In order to do this, you're going to need to actually have your periodic table in front of you. So you'll need your textbook pages 84 and 85. If you don't have it, turn this off, and when you do have it, click it back on again so you can follow along with me with the periodic table. If you notice on pages 84 and 85, the periodic table has numbers that go from 1 to 7 on the left-hand side, on the left-hand margin. Those are called periods, and periods are rows on the periodic table, and there are 7 rows total on the periodic table. Starts with row number 1, and row number 1 has only 2 elements in it. It has hydrogen and helium. Then row number 2, lithium, beryllium, and then go over to the other page, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. Row 3 then starts with sodium, row 4, potassium, row 5 is rubidium, row 6, cesium, row 7, francium. The interesting piece of information about these rows, the further you are to the left of the periodic table, that would be the lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium that I just talked about, those are the most unstable elements. And as you get closer to the middle of the table actually gets pretty stable. So the periodic table got its name because it's arranged by its atomic number. And if you remember from the other day in class when you were doing the one assignment for me, the atomic number is the number of protons that are in the nucleus of the atom. And so ultimately, that's how it was arranged. Initially, it was not arranged that way. It was actually arranged by atomic weight. And remember, Dmitri Mendeleev was the one who actually arranged the original periodic table and did it by atomic weight. Now the periodic table is arranged by atomic number. And the atomic number is always the little black number in the top right-hand corner of each of the boxes. And you'll see a number ranging from 1, and on this periodic table it goes all the way up to 118. I told you before there are additional elements. It goes up to 123 now. However, it really only 118 of them have actually been officially confirmed. There's an argument over 119 through 123 right now. What I like about this periodic table is it's color-coded. So I'm going to start by talking about the color coding on the periodic table. You'll notice that your periodic table has some gold-colored elements. Those are all your nonmetals. Sometimes they're gases, sometimes they're solids, and actually one of those is actually even a liquid, and I'll tell you which one that is in a minute. Most of the table are metals. Metals are all the blue elements, or actually the turquoise elements, if you want to call them that. And you'll notice that most of those elements are to the left-hand side of the periodic table. Those are again your metals. And then finally you got this strange green band that goes down the right-hand side of the periodic table. Those green elements are transition elements. They're called metalloids. They have properties of both your metals and your nonmetals. The other thing I wanted to show you, if you really, really look carefully at your periodic table in your book, you're going to see a yellow hinted little staircase that starts with boron on the right-hand side on page 85 and goes all the way down to astatine. And I kind of tried to draw it a little bit for you in the book. Again, it starts with boron, goes all the way down to astatine. That staircase separates basically your metals from your non-metals. Okay, so it is not the staircase to heaven that we talk about in religion, but it is a staircase on the periodic table. And it's an actual real one that actually does exist. I'm going to stop there for a moment, and I'm going to record another Screencastify because there's some additional information that's actually pretty interesting that I think you need to know about the periodic table. So I will see you back in a few minutes.